This is Poland, and it is rapidly becoming the new European superpower. It might come as a surprise to some, and Poland might not be the name you would associate as the most powerful, especially in the company of such giants like Great Britain, France, Germany, Switzerland, and the like. But let me explain. You see, it's been impossible to ignore Poland's growth as of late, and given enough time, studies show that the average Pole will be wealthier than the average European. But how is this possible, you might be thinking? In the realm of stereotypes, Poland has often been painted with the brush of a grey, post-communist country, perceived as offering nothing more than cheap, unqualified labor. However, this narrative no longer holds true. The Poland of today has undergone a remarkable transformation over the past 30 years, outpacing the growth of any other European economy, and even surpassing the speed of economic tigers like Singapore, South Korea, or Taiwan. What is the magic behind Poland's growth? Albert Einstein once said that the greatest power in the universe was compound interest. A strange quote from someone who helped to explain the powers that shape the universe. But he's probably got a point, and it helps explain why the UK is in a bit of a tizzy about Poland, because current compound growth rates indicate that Poland will be wealthier than all of the UK by 2030. But it's more than just economic factors. Present-day Poland is emerging as a major technological hub and boasts one of Europe's most substantial pools of software engineering talent. Poland is witnessing a resurgence of highly skilled individuals returning to their homeland, marking a significant shift. And thanks to maintaining one of the highest military fundings in NATO, they have spawned one of the strongest militaries in Europe. However, despite this rapid growth, there exists something that could topple Poland's meteoric rise. And surprisingly, Poland's greatest threat might come from within. So how did Poland rise up from one of the poorest countries after the fall of the Soviet Union to become Europe's biggest success story? What lessons can we learn from Poland? And what is it that they are doing better than everyone else? And what are the threats that pose to unravel everything that Poland has achieved? To unravel the tale of Poland's rise, we must rewind the clock to the early 1900s. Post-World War II, Poland faced the dual challenges of being the first country invaded by Nazi Germany, and also losing a staggering 20% of its population. Subsequently, Poland became part of the Eastern Bloc, a Soviet-controlled satellite state. The ensuing 40 years of communism plunged Poland into deep economic isolation, stagnation, and overall despair. With a centrally planned economy, the state owned almost everything. Private businesses didn't exist, and the country operated as a virtual Soviet colony, producing and selling only those items that Moscow dictated. But everything changed in 1989 when the communist regimes in Eastern Europe crumbled and the Iron Curtain was lifted, granting Poland freedom and independence. However, the nation emerged from this as one of the poorest in Europe, grappling with a dysfunctional infrastructure, failing public services, and a severe lack of experience in capitalism. The average salary in Poland at that time was a mere fraction of that in Germany, and hyperinflation further plagued the struggling nation. Despite these challenges, Poland, against the odds, managed to chart a course towards becoming a miracle. Fast forward 30 years, and Poland has achieved consecutive growth for almost 3 decades, setting a record for the longest period of growth in modern European history. Poland transformed from one of the poorest countries in Europe to the fastest growing countries in terms of economy. This success can be attributed to Poland's ability to adapt its growth strategy for each of the 3 decades, navigating the tricky transition from a centralized, state-owned economy to a capitalist economy. While other countries saw state wealth concentrated in the hands of politically connected oligarchs, Poland swiftly embraced capitalism, but took a more measured approach to privatizing state-owned enterprises, doing so a few years later than its neighbors. This deliberate strategy spared Poland from an economy dominated by oligarchs and shielded it from the economic crashes that plagued other post-communist countries in the 1990s. The early 2000s brought a new phase, leading Poland into globalization. In 2004, the country joined the European Union, opening up its market and tapping into the open European market with unrestricted movement of goods and services. This seamless connection with the rest of Europe enticed Western European companies to shift their manufacturing to Poland, drawn by a large and cost-effective workforce. While these companies retained most of the profit, Poland gained enough to fuel its rapid growth. There are also other benefits that Poland enjoys thanks to being a part of the EU. One of the core principles of the EU is about redistributing funds from wealthier to less developed member states, aiming to balance economic disparities. And Poland, being one of the less developed countries in 2004, were beneficiaries of these funds. This influx of funds allowed Poland to efficiently invest in various sectors, from infrastructure like roads to educational institutions. Average growth in Poland is currently 3.6%. Compare this to the UK, where over the last decade or so its growth has only been 0.5%. If those trends continue, the average Pole will inevitably become wealthier than the average Brit, and even wealthier than the average European. And should Poland maintain its current growth, the Poland economy will overtake the UK by 2030. While Poland has dodged the middle income trap that ensnares many countries relying on foreign investments and cheap labor, there remain challenges. The country is yet to establish its domestic giants in sectors with high added value. Despite these economic strides, Poland's success is not limited to economic growth on paper. One thing that we can see from Poland is they produce something that is hard to replicate, and that is their workforce. Poland has experienced a reverse brain drain, with highly skilled individuals and those of Polish heritage returning home. Before, companies sought out low-skilled and low-paid workers from Poland for mundane tasks. Fast forward to today, and the game has changed because Poland boasts one of Europe's most substantial pools of software engineering talent. In fact, Polish developers are among the best in the world. Technological development is such a high priority for Poland that companies like Google are setting up research and development hubs there. And this in turn has begun to benefit the broader society, with average wages in the country witnessing a substantial increase while maintaining low inequality, making a tangible difference for many. An amazing feat for Poland. Poland's growth story isn't confined to economic metrics. It extends to the realm of demography and national security. The nation is building one of the most powerful militaries in Europe, acknowledging historical threats and maintaining vigilance, especially in the wake of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. To truly grasp why this is significant, we need to delve into Poland's historical context. Imagine being a country nestled between Germany and Russia, having faced invasions, partitions, colonization, and the loss of independence time and time again. While Poland is now a part of NATO, the historical memories still linger. Unlike many European countries that were enjoying peace dividends, Poland maintained one of the highest levels of military funding in NATO. After the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Poland went into overdrive. Plans were announced to increase military spending to 5% of its GDP, surpassing any other NATO member. The armed forces were to double in size to 300,000, and substantial investments were made in tanks, fighter jets, and other military equipment. Poland's goal is ambitious: to have the most powerful ground forces in Europe by the end of the decade. This dual focus on economic growth and national security has positioned Poland as one of the most influential European countries. The achievements of Poland in recent years, especially in the economic and military realms, are undeniably impressive. However, amidst these achievements, a significant risk looms. Firstly, Poland's impressive economic growth hasn't completely shielded it from the middle-income trap. Heavy reliance on foreign investments, even with the establishment of tech centers in Warsaw by foreign companies, poses limitations on sustainable growth. Breaking into the big leagues requires the development of domestic giants in sectors with high added value, an area where Poland is currently lacking. The second, and perhaps more significant risk, is the deep-seated internal division within Poland. Poland is deeply divided between two distinct entities, one liberal and progressive, and those holding deeply conservative and religious views. Echoing the political divide in the United States, this poses a threat to the coexistence and collaboration necessary for Poland's continued success. Additionally, tensions with the European Union are escalating, with the threat of being cut off from EU funds as a consequence of perceived non-compliance with the rule of law. For several years now, the current government is leaning right, and the opposing liberals have been criticizing them as they are supposedly making it so that they can stay in power. Regardless of one's political inclinations, the repercussions are detrimental for both sides, and more critically, for Poland as a whole. Successful coexistence and collaboration between these two facets of the population are imperative for Poland's sustained success. Moreover, maintaining a positive relationship with the EU is crucial if Poland aims to truly solidify its position as a rising European powerhouse. Failure to navigate these challenges might signal the premature end of what has been hailed as the Polish miracle. Poland's rise from a post-communist state to Europe's biggest success story is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. Economic growth, technological advancements, a reverse brain drain, and military fortification paint a picture of a nation on the rise. Yet, the internal divisions pose a formidable challenge. To sustain and build upon its achievements, Poland must bridge these divides and foster collaboration, recognizing that its success story hinges on the unity of its people and harmonious engagement with the broader European community. But what do you think? What is the key factor behind Poland's impressive economic growth? Do you believe Poland's internal divisions pose a significant threat to its continued success? And should Poland prioritize developing its domestic giants to ensure long-term economic sustainability? Let us know what you think by sharing your thoughts in the comments. We really hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it. Please do not hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more captivating narratives. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.